Yo, what is up, everybody? It's Jay the Great, and welcome back to another Naruto reaction video here today. And as you all know, I myself asked y'all what video you guys wanted me to react to next, and the people have spoken. So, as you can tell by the title, we got Sakura Haruno versus Hinata Hyuga, which was, the most requested video by y'all. So I gotta bring y'all what y'all want, because I rock with y'all and I love y'all, man. I appreciate all the support, for real. I rock with y'all, and we do this shit together. But today we got obviously Sakura Haruno, the wife of Sasuke Uchiha, and, a decent shinobi who, rose array in the ranks over the course of Naruto history. And at this point in Boruto is, a pretty strong shinobi, closest thing to Tsunade we've ever had. On the other side, we got Hinata Hyuga, from one of the strongest clans in all of Naruto, possesses the Byakugan, and is quite the defensive fighter. I mean, that's what the Hyuga are known for. Obviously, she is now Hinata Uzumaki, I think, if that's the way it works in marriage in the Naruto universe. But yeah, we're going to be reacting to this matchup. I'm actually pretty curious myself. I've always thought about this, and I know Suikage always does a good job with these. I know some of y'all say he has his bias, but who doesn't, right? We all do. I'm an Uchiha tard low-key. But before we begin, if you enjoy, show some love. Any love's greatly appreciated. Hit that like button, turn on bell notifications. And if you're new and you enjoy this, it's your first time coming upon one of these, hit that sub button, man, because once you do, you're part of the family forever. Let's not waste any more time, screen. Let's see what he has to say.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Suikage here. Welcome to today's video, where once again, no surprise, since I'm doing a versus battle, I have my friend, your friend, Seth the Programmer. Say hello, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Just a little... But, so today, title probably has, you already know what we're talking about. It's Sakura versus Hinata. That was a really awkward intro, but I don't fucking feel like redoing it. So, Sakura versus Hinata, a lot of people get, really heated about this, even though these are two side characters. I guess people just...
Yeah, in a way.
Yeah, it's waifu wars, exactly. Okay, so if we're talking about, by saying Hinata stomps, and it's probably a bad idea to say that, because now people are going to be like, oh, you're biased, you can't talk about this, you're biased! Shut up.
Our opinion is no longer valid, we don't do this for a living.
Yeah, it's like, dude, I read Naruto manga, all day, just to fucking make videos and shit. So yeah, I definitely know what I'm talking about. I don't even know why.
Watch the material, dog.
Start off with part 1, even though that's obvious as fuck.
Oh my god, Hinata, the girl that was literally I know she wasn't on the same level, but give her some credit. She was swapping hands with Neji.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
she was
moving at the same speed as Neji.
The same kid that Kakashi's this kid should not be here.
Yeah, exactly. What is he doing in the Chunin exams? He should already be a Chunin. And
actually did pretty good.
Yeah, she actually did a pretty solid job. I think better than a whole lot of people would have done against him.
So I think it's pretty clear reason to debate otherwise. Literally, well,
especially if you count the filler where she has pretty.
Jip is it's setting her up for character development, what Kishimoto's trying to do. Kind of did, but
he pulled that off pretty well.
Yeah.
But he kind of got tossed to the side by the other characters being significantly more powerful. But I mean, the point still stands that in part 1, she's she sucks at everything. Her trump card against the
she was in an academy,
biting this sound ninja on the arm, getting punched in the head repeatedly and crying.
A fucking dog. That was dog.
Naruto as well, right? And she says, I'm gonna kill you because I love Naruto. That would make Hinata bloodlusted angry, boiling angry. And you know how she is over Naruto already in part 1. She loves him and kill her. So that's, a scenario that obviously it'll never happen because Sakura doesn't like Naruto, but the point still stands. She would stomp. That's all I have to say. Let's continue. Part 2, as they said.
A lot of people, a lot of people stand Sakura in part 2, and now I don't know if it's to be contrarian, if it's to
part
be
2 when she beats Sasori,
just because people think that anybody who thinks Hinata wins also thinks Sakura is useless. But you gotta understand, dude, Hinata too frequently. So, assuming she even still has the 100 healings at the beginning of Shippuden, it's still a tough fight for her. I mean, she can't win up close. Mid-range is a bit different. I'll let you say what you think about it first.
Well, if we're doing startership, the reason this is my headcanon, right? But what we've seen in the anime kind of supports this. Sakura's like not even at like half power at the start of Shippuden. Like she's, like I said, like when she was shown during the Chunin exam, she could barely walk through the desert without passing out. Like,
well, that's anime filler, but you know.
Yeah, it's just like what she. The point is that even during battle, she's concentrating a fuck ton of chakra into her head, right? Trying to
Which
get
is stupid. That makes me hate her. Like, why didn't she bust that out?
Yeah, she was able to counteract Sasori like later on.
Okay,
like,
also don't get it twisted. She did not beat Sasori. Like, oh my god,
no, she didn't. She was able to just dodge his shit.
Level fight. Like, no, she, along with the help of Chio, who knew everything about him, and the prep time needed to create an antidote specific a Sasori who kind of let himself die.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I don't even know if he was suicidal, but like he had clear amounts of respect for Chio and Sakura. And I think he also, like, there was this point where it was like it was implied that he wanted the embrace of his parents because Chio was using his mother and father puppets. So it was something along those lines that led Sasori to let himself get hit by the final attack. But
I agree.
Regardless, it's stated that he didn't really try to dodge that final assault from Sakura and Chio. And even then, Chio controlled Sakura like she was a puppet. She summoned Chikamatsu Sasori's entire 100 puppet army, and I mean, Sakura's strong, but there's no way she would have made one to do that. I think I don't really need to keep going. I don't think I need to debunk the idea that Sakura is stronger than Sasori. She didn't beat him, and so, like, you know, Hinata's nowhere near Sasori's level either. I'm not even about to imply that, but...
Oh yeah, no way.
You know, using Sasori as a scaling mechanism for Sakura, I don't think is fair. I think that's a fallacy, and that's now that that's out of the way. So Sakura is a hole in the ground, but like none of that really matters if her chakra gets shut down up close by Hinata's gentle fist use.
Exactly.
Like, there's nothing she can do about that. You know?
Yeah, Sakura is completely unable to use her full power. She can't really her summoning very well because it takes a massive amount of chakra to summon that fucking slug for some reason. I don't know why, but it takes so much. So chakra. Well, she has no chakra really because she's fucking draining, but basically most of it.
Well, she has plenty of it because she was able to survive just fine against Sasori, but she doesn't have as much as she did in the war when she was able to let all of it loose.
She's very hindered.
Yes.
And the thing is that her punches are pretty powerful. Like, even without the 100 healings, like, being completed. But it's not like it is during the start of Shippuden. It's more like the ground kind of breaks. Maybe she could use that to catch Hinata's footing off guard. That's all I can really see happening with that.
But like, even as Genin, these people are capable of, like, hopping through trees like it's nothing. So there's really nothing that she could do that would, like unless she, like, sinks Hinata into the core of the fucking earth.
Sakura's close range taijutsu that she learned from Tsunade with her enhanced strength is not going to do anything against a clan bred to do that shit. Like,
I feel it needs, like, repeating. I'm not saying that Sakura sucks. Neither is Seth. Neither of us are calling her fodder. He has a video explicitly explaining why Sakura doesn't suck. I like Sakura.
She's not fodder.
She's fine. I think her character
that's unfair to say.
A better direction in a few cases, but, you know, for the most part, I think she's fine. I think she's really strong. She's one of the strongest members in the series, and than Hinata at every point in Shippuden. But that doesn't matter when you put her up against, like, the worst possible kind of opponent for her. Any taijutsu specialist that doesn't, like, specialize in high speed, like, long, like anybody who can't move like Lee or Gato, anybody without high speed like the Raikage, Minato, or anybody without long range ninjutsu, they're not really going to be able to do anything against a Hyuga.
Let me just put this down for you guys. Like you said, it would take a character like Rock Lee or, you know, my guy.
No, you need a quite the specialist in taijutsu to stand a chance against a Hyuga.
Even without his weights,
a good Hyuga fighter.
Kind of Neji's bitch. Like, I'm not.
Neji was scared of the gates, but Sakura is not gately.
Oh, hell no. Hell no.
Let's not even say that she's even about to come close to moving that fast. That's a ridiculous claim. And I'm not saying that she's fought. I think her punches hit hard. Like, to say that she moves as quickly, you know, it's really tricky to talk about this because people take like anything that you say Sakura can't do as you calling her fodder, and that's not what I'm trying to do in this video. I'm just trying to explain that any Hyuga member, especially the next heir to the fucking head branch of the Hyuga clan, is going to give Sakura and anybody like her a hard time. You know, Hinata up close would probably do some damage to fucking Tsunade, okay? And that's not me wanking Hinata, that's just how the Gentle Fist works. And if you don't believe me, Kabuto obliterated Tsunade in close quarters combat, okay?
That is true.
And this is Kabuto, and he used a very similar attack strategy to that of the Gentle Fist. He was shutting down Tsunade's body so that she couldn't do anything. And the clincher here, Kabuto says he sucks at taijutsu. Meanwhile, the Hyuga are trained from birth to be taijutsu specialists. There's nothing that this Sakura could do to Hinata. So, like, at least up close, you know, if she does get her summoning off, or if she is able to, like, blow apart the ground from mid to long range, maybe she can do something to Hinata. But that's assuming she's bloodlusted. In character, it's, you know, she's not going to do anything like that, and she's going to get shut down pretty quickly.
Yep. I guess next would just be the 100 healing. So,
alright, let me get my take on that. The part 2 version, right? We have Hinata and the beginning of Shippuden, and we have Sakura, we all know. Beats Sasori, right? But that's with an asterisk. I mean, she had Chio's help, who knew basically every single thing about him, his whole life history, and I agree when they say he basically let himself go. Even Chio admitted, if you go watch the anime, Chio admitted if he really wanted to dodge that last attack, you know, the one that sealed the deal for the win, he could have, and he probably would have killed both. But he didn't. He let himself go. He even gave up information to help him with Orochimaru, right? So, yeah, I mean, she held her own, right? She survived for quite some time, but it was with significant prep time and significant prep. I mean, she had, you know, an antidote to counteract the poison that was so deadly from Sasori's arsenal, right? So, I mean, you know, it's an asterisk. It's a victory with an asterisk next to it, right? So, in this battle, right, if let's say it's her versus Hinata, I wouldn't say that Hinata would. Like I wouldn't agree with Swag Kage saying she would quickly shut down Sakura. I don't think it'd be quick. I think she would win. Could Sakura win? It's very unlikely. I mean, like they said, I think the best case scenario would be her catching Hinata off guard, maybe smashing the ground, you know, enough to get her off her feet, and that would create an opening. Even that would be a stretch because I consider Tsunade's and Sakura's style, you know, it's powerful, but it's slow. And that's why someone like Kabuto was able to take out Tsunade. But I think it's a very slow and clunky style. It's like powerful, but slow. It's like getting hit by a demolition ball, right? It's like really hard, but slow. Something like that. That's what I'm trying to compare it to, you know, use some analogy like that. It's slow, but effective when it does land. And the Hyugas are, I mean, they're basically gods of taijutsu. I mean, the only guys that could mess with them would be, like they said, like a Guy or a Lee or a Minato or someone that's high level, like a Madara or something like that. But Sakura is slow. She learned from Tsunade. She's not on Tsunade's level at that point. Seal's thing and the summoning. I mean, what would the summoning do? Maybe you buy her more time. The summoning could fight for her. I don't know. I don't think those slugs are. I mean, I think they can shoot acid, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. I don't think that'd be a problem for Hinata. I'm sure by that point she has rotation, right? Like the rotation ability that Neji had. Yeah, it's very unlikely. Could Sakura win? Yes. I think if she lands a good blow, it could be quite detrimental to Hinata, but it's very unlikely. She's quite a bit slower than Hinata, and Hyugas have quick hands, man, quick hands. So I say Hinata wins this 8 out of 10 times. With mid difficulty, maybe even low difficulty in the right circumstance. That's just my take on the part. If we're comparing, you know, matching them up in the part that they just talked about. Let's continue though.
War Arc Sakura with the 100 healings now has different strategies to implement. She has longer range, and she obviously has way more power, speed, and chakra.
Now we're talking about War Arc.
She's not. Kaguya fast, okay?
No.
Somebody tweeted me. Somebody tweeted me with this picture of Sakura dodging like one of Kaguya's Ten Tails arms. Like even Sasuke said it was fast, so that means it's really fast. And this same person later went on to say she kept pace with Naruto and Sasuke. When has Hinata ever shown any speed feats similar to that? And I'm like, Sakura is not the speed of light, okay? Like, you can take or extrapolate like any sort of headcanon fuel you want from the battle with Kaguya, but if you think that Sakura is light speed, like, you're fucking gone, dude. She's not that fast.
No,
she would have been
definitely
able to dodge Sasuke's attack on her. Fuck, Omoi. Like, Omoi fucking dicks her down, dude. Like, have you seen that panel that a lot of people bring up in this debate? Yeah, it's wild. Well, she got fucked by him, and people are like, well, this is pre-war arc. You mean, like, pre-Kage Summit, which is right before the war arc? What the fuck are you talking about? She didn't have 100 healings active, but it's not gonna make that much of a difference if Omoi can just, like, sleep her ass. Then she's not gonna do anything against Hinata.
Yeah, that's true, especially Taijutsu. But the main thing I want to say about that whole feat is that's completely bullshit. Is that there's no way she's anywhere near Sasuke or Naruto
or Kaguya.
In fact, I would argue that base Naruto would completely shit stomp and obliterate Sakura, even with the 100 healings. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
6 paths, that dude is a beast.
Absolutely.
Like he literally came at. He thought he could come at Sasuke without even using his Biju cloak.
He thought he could come in Madara without even using his Biju cloak.
Yeah, his base got severely amplified after the 6 paths, and people sleep on that for whatever fucking reason.
Yeah, and so QB Cloak, Truth-Seeking Orb Naruto, way faster than Sakura. Same with Sasuke, who can teleport, who can speed blitz Naruto. She's not as fast as him. And Kaguya, who can blitz Naruto. Like, the thing about this feat is that Sakura did it while Kaguya had pretty much no control. See something moving at like 5 miles per hour, and depending on what it is, if he sees somebody else that isn't fucking Usain Bolt about to get hit by it, he'd be like, yo, move out of the way, that's pretty fucking fast. It doesn't mean that he was like saying that thing is faster than I am.
Can you imagine seeing like a spider just dip across the ground? You're like, damn, that was fast. It's like, nah, now it's as fast as you at like, the spider will whoop your ass in a race. Like,
yeah, I mean, like, that's really, that's a great analogy. So, I mean, I don't really think this section of the video needs to be here, but I know some people are gonna say, well, these Sakura's as fast as Kaguya's, you know.
Yeah, it's not true.
People actually think that she's the speed of light or faster, or like she's fucking stomping Raditz or whatever.
By the way, we're saying she's light speed because of Madara's Light Fang.
Right, Madara used Light Fang, Naruto dodged it, and the data books state that the Light Fang is light speed, so there you go. Some people might still think that she's as fast as Kaguya, she's just not light speed, but no. I mean, like, well, even if you didn't have the light speed frame of reference there, that'd still be a pretty ridiculous claim, but I think this really puts it into perspective. There's just no way. And, well, another thing that people need to separate is travel speed and combat speed are not the same thing,
right?
And that's something people need to, you know, really get through their skulls, because Hinata's combat speed is probably faster than many characters, like many characters. Same with Neji. Yeah. You know, Neji's definitely not as fast on the ground as Lee or Guy or whatever, but I'm pretty sure he can move his hands more quickly than either of them.
It's like part 1 Sasuke versus Naruto when he awakens his Sharingan. It doesn't necessarily mean he can fly across the valley like Naruto can.
Right, exactly. Sasuke dodge all of his attacks at close quarters.
Yep, because his Sharingan could foresee his movement. So there is such a thing as combat speed.
And I'm not saying that, I'm not saying that, like, got, like, a Mangekyo level visual Byakugan does give better visual perks than the Sharingan. So that little frame of reference there where you see Sasuke moving faster than Naruto because he can predict his movements, I mean, like, Hinata has an edge even greater than that one. And that's just like an extra Tomoe being added to Sasuke's Sharingan.
Well,
it's not like no. Yeah, but that's the thing. I'm not saying she has like Mangekyo level visual prowess, but the difference that this dojutsu makes is gigantic, okay? Because look, Sasuke was getting shit on when he had 2 Tomoe. This isn't like going base to Sharingan. This is going one stage of the Sharingan to its next stage, and it made that much of a difference. So, you know, Sakura's lack of a Byakugan versus Hinata's Byakugan, that's a really big thing to take into consideration here.
I agree. So as I was saying, like, the only way Sakura can really win at this point, like, close range, she's absolutely dominated. Like, the only difference with this Sakura is that she has the 100 healings fully done, and she can nuke the battlefield now. So she kind of has like some kind of area of effect per se. Like,
but even if
the ground and it like obliterated like all these Juvie clones.
Right, but like, Hinata did push back this was when she was amped by Naruto's chakra cloak, to be fair, but Hinata did manage to push back a gigantic Jubi hand with an air palm, so, you know, I think that's worth pointing out. And on top of that, she has the air palm, and the fact that, you know, she has that at all is bad news for Sakura, because she can shut down her chakra network from a range. And I think Sakura being able to dodge that Kaguya hand is a pretty good way to dismiss the idea that she'll ever get hit by an air palm, but Hinata can use that to pressure her, because I doubt it takes up that much chakra.
So other than like the nuclear bomb thing, and
which again, you know, I hate to make it seem like I was changing the subject. It can be countered. That's all I was trying to say.
Yeah. And there's a thing about Katsuyu is that Katsuyu has acid attacks.
Right. That's what I was talking about earlier.
Acid attacks that are so potent that even Orochimaru's like, "Yo, if I fuck with Tsunade, you just melt my ass like right here."
Yeah,
like,
exactly. And that might be a problem. If she summons Katsuyu, Hinata might be fucked. And that's like the biggest thing here.
She doesn't have chakra, like she has sage energy, so
or Sakura with air palms, and one of two things would have to happen. Either Sakura would have to move across the area of the slug very quickly, which, I mean, eventually Hinata's gonna pin her movements down and hit her with the air palm anyway, or Sakura's gonna have to move off of the slug, at which case Hinata's gonna fucking capitalize on that moment when she's in the air and wreck her chakra points. That's really, like, you know, those are the only two options she has, so it is possible that she can just melt Hinata to pieces with the acid. Well, again, in character, she's not gonna fucking do that. She would probably summon Katsuyu and be like, "Hey, Hinata, give up," and then get hit by an air palm. And
air palm.
That would
and
be
then
that.
I guess you could. There's also, me and Swag were like discussing. There's like a 50-50 possibility, because we don't really. It's kind of weird. Like, does the external chakra, like, does it overflow onto your block chakra points, or does it fucking?
Would it be like a QB type deal with Naruto?
Yeah, so if that works, that's an advantage. If it doesn't work, then blah blah blah, whatever.
I see what they're saying.
By Gentle Fist.
Right.
That's just something that.
Well, the thing about the 100 healings chakras, I don't know if it provides extra chakra. I just know that it heals the body by using the chakra. Yeah, but it's chakra that's stored in order to, and for the but it's for the purpose of healing. I don't think it can be used for anything else. I know it amps physical abilities and stuff, but. Like, I don't think that it would be enough to completely negate the effects of the 64 palms, for example. But I think I'm going to have to give this to Hinata pretty handily, like 7 or 8 out of 10.
I can't. But for, I guess if we're going to do the last, or the adults.
All right. Now let me give my take on that one, all right? First of all, I don't agree with just giving my take here. Yes, Sakura's quite a bit more capable at this point. She does have small bomb level punches, right? Like, she can punch the ground and do quite a bit of damage. And she has the ability to summon, you know, her slug. She has hundreds, I would say so, right? Just going off based off what she's accomplished and done in the war. She did dodge a move from Kaguya, but yeah, I agree. She wasn't like Kaguya was at her best, or something like that. I'd have Sasuke teleports her out of the way or something like that. And then we have Hinata. All right, she has the air palm ability now. I believe her taijutsu and everything has improved at least somewhat since the first part that they were discussing in the beginning of Shippuden. So I believe her taijutsu is better. Everything's better. Everything is improved. We have to say so, right? They didn't really go over that. I think Hinata has improved, right? Like they said, she has the air palm ability, so she has somewhat of a distance attack. Obviously, close range, she'd be too quick, too precise, and has a visual prowess that Sakura just can't compete with, right? She does have killer hands. You know, if they do land, if they do connect on you, right? It could probably kill you. If they, you know, should kill the average person with one shot, probably. Best scenario for Sakura. She summons the slug, like they said, right? She's on top of the slug. The slug has the capability to shoot acid. I have a very, I think I could safely say, in all reality, it probably wouldn't work, right? I mean, it is a big ass slug, right? So I wonder how much it could, you know, exert from itself, how much acid it could exert, how big of an area it can exert. I think it's, you know, a pretty good sized area. What I'm wondering is, could the air palms negate that? Could it maybe make it dissipate to where it doesn't hit her? She could just keep spamming air palms as the acid comes. So I think she'd be safe. I think the acid could be a problem, right? I mean, it could be, but I think in all reality, if I had to say so myself, she'd be safe from that. So Sakura, if she stays on top of the slug, I mean, she'd have to stay up there and not let Hinata get up there, because if Hinata is in close quarters, it's a problem. She's not going to be able to hit Hinata. It'd be very, very unlikely. She can't hit the ground because they're right there. The best case scenario would basically be them in close quarters. She would just shut down her chakra network. And they said it's a possibility that the 100 Seals Jutsu could negate some of the effect of the 64 palms, right? But not all of it. You know, it's very unlikely that that's the case. I think Hinata would probably still do quite a number on her if she hits her with the 64 palms. Make her quite a bit weaker. Maybe even shut down the 100 Seals Jutsu. Who knows? But I think Hinata does win. I don't think handedly, though. I think it'd be more challenging. I'd say 6, 7 out of 10 times. With mid battle, very hard to grasp and to analyze, because there's a lot of factors and a lot of what ifs, right? Like, we don't know exactly what happens if she were to get hit by the 64 palms in her 100 Seals Jutsu mode, right? When she has that mode on. Would it negate? Would it completely negate it? Would it not? Would it? Who knows? You know, we don't know that. But in all reality, I think it would negate some, not all of it, but enough to keep her standing. I think so. But we don't know. So I'd say Hinata wins still, just because of her taijutsu. And Sakura, you know, doesn't have much versatility. You know, she has her extreme strength. She has her you know, summoning jutsu, and that's about it. I mean, she has really no long range herself. The slug could shoot acid, but, you know, I guess as far as long range, her, you know, the radius of her punches is what her long range attacks is. But yeah, I'd say Hinata winning 6 to 7 out of 10 times with mid to high difficulty. That's my last take on that.
It's completely
Sorry, I was all over the place. This is a hard one to grasp.
Well, Sakura has feats, and I guess Hinata doesn't really have feats in Shippuden, so it's the same case here. But Hinata doesn't. She has absolutely no showings whatsoever. But it is stated at the beginning of the Boruto manga that she is a master of the gentle fist. But meanwhile, you know, Sakura has some pretty crazy showings in her light novel, and I'll go ahead and let you talk about those, because those are fucking ridiculous.
So in the light novel, right. And there's this Anbu elite Jonin, right? He's like the leader of like a foundation, you know, sector that like broke off or whatever. And he has these things called the pseudo-tailed beast drugs. So even like the initial cloaks of these magnified the powers of Jonin Anbu like by 2 times, as stated by Sai. And then the leader of the guy gets like this full 9-tailed, like weird version 2 armored cloak. And he's capable of making bijou bombs that are twice as large as what Naruto used in his 4-tailed state against Orochimaru, because they're a meter in diameter, whereas the one Naruto shot was like a foot-ish, like larger than his head slightly. So it's possibly twice as powerful as the 4 tails that was ass-fucking Orochimaru. And Sakura's taking bijou bombs from this guy, and then blitzes through his attacks that are fighter, right?
Well, also, I think, before I forget, I would also like to point out that this Jonin are no joke. A lot of people like to act like that's just a title, but fucking Zabuza is really strong. He assassinated Kage, and he was a Jonin, and that was like the sort of like a reference point that Kishimoto gave us for Jonin. So, you know, it means Sakura's abilities are crazy, in case you couldn't already tell.
especially if she's taking hits from someone that's dozens of tailed beast, creature, and then she literally hits this guy so hard and then heals him at the same time that his biological limit like reaches, like he can't heal anymore, like his cells die.
Yeah, his cells can't divide anymore, and then he dies
then she one-shots him and launches him across the forest.
Jesus.
And like kills him in like one hit, like the second his armor's off. It's fucking wild. This guy.
All of this is none of it is relevant because the Gentle Fist bypasses durability. So it's like, it's really about whether Sakura could hit Hinata or not, I still don't think she's fast enough to do that. Especially given Hinata's showings in the last, where she was swarmed by like 8 Moon Ninja at once, and she dodged all of them and fucking like molested them, dude. It was crazy. So, like she's very, she's got a lot of finesse. She's very quick on her feet. She's very quick with her hands. And Sakura, she's a much more tanky fighter, like Tsunade. And so it's tougher, but if Hinata can manage to land the Gentle Fist, it's over. If not, Sakura one-shots her. It's pretty much that simple. I'm really not too sure about this one. I think it could go either way, but I'm leaning... If they start up close, Hinata wins again. Close quarters combat is not doable for Sakura. There's just no way that she could... Like, a lot of people are like, well, if they're in CQC, then Sakura could just punch Hinata. But no, she's not fucking fast enough. Hinata would decimate her chakra points before that could happen. And, so it's like if Sakura can feint Hinata or something like that, that's an option. If they start at mid-range, Sakura could probably like blow up the whole fucking battlefield and then Hinata would be fucked. It really just depends on the circumstances, whether they're bloodlusted or not, but I think in character, it's more likely that Hinata wins.
In my opinion, I personally go with Sakura just simply due to the Sannin scaling, but I do see your opinion there.
Yeah, it's because of the fact, like, her durability is like the biggest thing there, the fact that she was tanking Biju bombs, but that doesn't matter. Like it's said at the beginning of the manga, you can't train your internal organs, so getting hit by the Gentle Fist, because the Gentle Fist doesn't just mess with chakra points. It can also, well, I mean, it primarily does, but it doesn't just shut down your chakra. It can also mess with how your chakra interacts with your body. So Hinata could like shut down Sakura's heart or her arteries or something like that. So it's really weird. But I get where you're coming from as well, and I respect your point of view on this. I'm not gonna fucking scream at you and call you a loser.
Damn Sakura fanboy.
Sakura's obviously light speed, so she stomps.
So what do you got for adult Hinata? Like full Boruto era? Is there anything new for her?
No, she doesn't have any more showings. She's just really good at cooking.
Just better at cooking than Hinata.
She'd probably win a cooking contest against Sakura, which would trigger Sakura. She also has... Well, actually, it's really weird.
Raid is a free-to-play action RPG for both PC and mobile.
Like, some renditions of Boruto or The Last Hinata have gigantic boobs, and then, like, others have, like, a flat chest, but...
I'm gonna say adult Sakura takes it, in my opinion. I don't even really want to debate that, because... Like, when it comes to the argument of dojutsu tagging, precognition, I don't know, I wouldn't say he got caught off guard, but, like, this dude, he had a Mangekyo Sharingan, his entire head was covered in Sharingan, like...
Shin.
He could not be caught off guard. He was seeing every which way. Like, there was literally an eye on every part of his head. Right. Like, there's no way he could not... He had like a blind spot.
Yeah, but I feel like Shin was kind of fodder. He was kind of pressing Naruto and Sasuke, but it was very clear that they weren't trying. Like, it's hard to scale Sakura from this because it's not like she's stronger than both of them, and they were weakened. So I guess you can make that argument, but I don't think that. Like you even said, base Naruto shits on Sakura, so
yes, agreed. So.
I don't know if it's worth scaling from Shin. I just kind of view him as like fodder. Well, I just think he's a funny joke character. That's true, yeah, but I like to think of him as like Mysterio, specifically Mysterio from the Spider-Man 2 video game, where he shows up with like 50 health bars and you're like, oh fuck, this is gonna be tough, and then you punch him once and he dies. That's how I view Shin, but that's personally just me, so And I also think Hinata could have dogged on Shin by shutting down his chakra points as well. Yeah. There are a whole lot of ways you could really look at this. It honestly just depends on what happens, but if Hinata touches Sakura once, it's done for. If not, well, it's just whoever strikes first wins, essentially. And I think that would be Hinata if they're up close. If they're like mid-range, Sakura could probably move fast enough to take it, but close up, Hinata still stops.
Alright, so let us know what you guys think down below.
You can tell me why I'm wrong and why I suck and how I don't know anything. Yeah, go subscribe to Seth. Make sure you subscribe to me as well. I already hit my 200K milestone, but Seth's on his way to 200K. So, go give him some love. That'd be greatly appreciated. We have a collab coming out on his channel talking about why Obito is... well, it actually might be up before this video. I don't know, but it's going to be talking about why Obito is a monster. One of the strongest characters in the whole series, like Jubi or not. So, keep your eyes peeled for that, or re-peel them if it's already out and go watch it again. And, until my next video, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.
Peace. All right, there you guys have that. To get my take on that last one, I think the best, conclusion I can come up with as far as them as adults is whoever hits first. Like they said, whoever lands a shot first wins. And I saw this trend, right, as we go on the different versions. As we go on, the chances for Sakura winning increase, right? The first versions, she had no chance, right? In part two versions in the beginning of Shippuden, she had little to no chance, right? Little chance of beating Hinata. In the War Arc, she had, a better chance, and it would be challenging for Hinata to win, but Hinata still wins. And then in the very last version, when they're adults, it's really, neck and neck. Hand-to-hand combat, in all cases, Hinata wins most of the time. And in the infinite number of scenarios that are possible, I believe Hinata wins in close, if they start in close range, like, arm's length, it's Hinata, most of the time. But in this final version, right, the final forms that they discussed when they're adults, Sakura, could obliterate the combat field and make quite some trouble for Hinata. Best case scenario for Sakura and when they're adults is she maybe starts. I don't know if she has physical strength to where she can throw stuff at her. Maybe throw all kinds of, like, obliterate a building and throw rocks at her or something and keep her busy. And then, maybe be quick enough to hit her. If she hits her once, it's over. But I doubt it. The Byakugan gives almost perfect defense. There is one blind spot, right? It's, to me, in the last version that they discussed, it's almost 5 out of 10 times for both. It's almost even, in my opinion. Because, Hinata, it can be safely said that Hinata is a master of the gentle fist at this point, right? She's a grown-up. She's in her prime. She's not on missions, right? There's no missions that she goes on and stuff like that. She's just a stay-at-home mom now. And on the other hand, we have Sakura doing all these missions. Very, very neck and neck. This is a hard one to grasp, man. For me, it was hard to grasp. But in the last, the final versions of themselves in Boruto, of course, it's neck and neck. It really is neck and neck. It depends on the scenario, depends on their mindsets. It depends on many, many factors that would take too long to discuss. But yeah, guys, that was a very interesting video. It's very hard to grasp. One of the tougher battles. Even the experts themselves had a tough time, and that's understandable. This is a tough matchup, especially in the later versions that they discussed. But yeah, guys, that's gonna wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed it. I tried my best to give my take on it as well. It's tough. But if you guys have any recommendations, let me know in the comments. I love you all, and I'll catch you in the next reaction video. This is Jay the Great signing out. Peace.